Charlie. Like, Charlie's powers go so far away that one time I had to schedule a Hearthstone match. And I had to get Tides of Time, ex-Dota player, to play a match. And I couldn't get a hold of him. And I called Charlie on Skype. He's like, yeah, let me get my phone. He phones him. He wakes him up. And like 5 minutes, is ready to play the match. That's what you do. How'd you do it, Charlie?
I picked up my phone and I called him.
Get the mic closer.
I picked up my phone and I called him.
Well, you probably have a lot of people on your phone there because you can reach pretty much everyone.
He's a popular guy.
He's a popular guy. And Conrad, I mean, you know him very well as well. You worked for EG for a long time. Now you are working for C9 as a manager, and this is, I think, the first time you're being a manager.
Yes, on an official capacity.
Right.
I went to Kiev, and it was sort of like a trial run. And then everything went crazy with Bone and all that sort of stuff. So it was a good trial. So I think they liked what I did. So
how's the newbie doing, Charlie?
He's good. Actually, I mean, to be completely real and fair, one of the reasons I had a fair amount of places I could have gone to after Dignitas.
Right.
And one of the big reasons I came to EG was to work with Connie.
Wow. Really?
Yep.
That's good. And then he ran away because he didn't want to work with you.
Yeah, I mean, unfortunately for him, he's Canadian and got his ass deported.
Damn, Conrad.
a little hyperbole, but yes, pretty much true.
Yeah. So you guys are both, of course, from the North American scene, and C9 is the team that sometimes is North American, sometimes it's European, depending on what the tournament is, what's best for the team.
Depending on what is required, yes.
Exactly. For example, for A-League, I think you're playing the American.
We are playing the American qualifiers for A-League.
For Dreamleague, you're playing in the American.
We also played the American for Dreamleague.
For Star Ladder, you play European.
We played European, yes.
Nice.
And for Summit, we also played European.
Nice, pretty good.
This was all made before I got there.
Have you tried that? That's like, you have Zai. You could kind of try the same thing. Have you tried it?
I mean, we're content where we are.
They're doing all right in NA, I think.
Okay, so you say that, and like you kind of put it out there that the NA scene is maybe easier than the European scene, or at least there's not as many top teams. Would you say that?
Oh yeah, there's definitely not as many top teams. I think that's a bit of a that varies. Like for example, if I were C9, I would actually rather play in the American side of Star Ladder than the European division.
I see.
I think 4 teams, and given the caliber of skill in Europe, it's still harder to qualify for Star Ladder in Europe if you're C9 than it is to qualify for Star Ladder in North America if you're EG.
Right, of course. How many slots does Star Ladder give to America?
Just one slot.
Well, then do you really want to play in America when you have EG as well?
That's sort of the thing, you know. I feel like we have definitely, like, the way I look at Star Ladder, there's a much better chance for us to qualify and be able to, you know, maneuver on teams. I think, you know, we're probably, arguably, I think top 3 teams right now are EG, Secret.
Second team, let's call it like that.
Okay, EG, Secret, and C9 are the top 3 teams within the Western scene right now. And I think, you know, because we are able to play EU, I think that gives us a better chance to, you know, be able to qualify for Star Ladder.
Good. And unfortunately, unfortunately, we have a game. That kind of sucks. I would like to stay here on the couch. But before going into the game, I want to give you the opportunity, since you guys are like in the North American scene a lot, and you probably know a lot more of the teams, the North American players there. And again, like you're two very personable people. I want you to have this chance to maybe either give a shout out to a team or to a player or to someone in the North American scene that you think is being undervalued right now, and maybe people want to put their eyes on them. For example, for ASC, people didn't really know who were then. And I think after this tournament, people are actually being like, oh, these guys are pretty cool. Is there someone like that in the North Americans or in the American scene in general?
Yeah, I'll give a shout out to Ush Dota, formerly of Sneaky Nyx Assassins, now of, I guess, Navi North America. He is young, he's really ambitious, and he's hungry, and he's...
Feed him, poor guy.
He's he's good. Chris Usher.
Cool.
In maybe this year or the next, he's going to be on the top team.
Cool. How old is he?
18.
18. Cool. Conrad?
For me, I guess, personal shout out to MSS. I still talk to him a lot. I had, sort of the same thing. He's a young kid. He literally ran away from home to play Dota.
Wow.
Like, crossed an entire entire country just to play Dota. And something like that, like when I met him in person and we got to meet each other when he was playing with EG, was like a really interesting and nice experience. And I still talk to him, quite often. So I want to give a shout out to him. He's awesome. He's a cool kid. And I hope one day that he comes back to, Dota full time once he finishes school.
We're really looking forward to that. And with that, we're going now to the desk where Shiver and the guys are going to introduce you to this third series of the day, Cloud9 versus 4ASC.
Yeah, the third series of the day, but the first series where Cloud9 is actually playing because, of course, they only arrived yesterday throughout the day. They have also had officials, I believe, yesterday.
Lumi knows.
Lumi knows.
I think they had it this morning.
This morning?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, they actually did for I-League qualifiers. I know because Envy said, we're going to play a game in 10 minutes, and at that point he was by himself in the studio where he wasn't going to play the officials because he had to go to Inferno Online, but his whole team was still at the hotel, so there were some scheduling issues there, but I hope they all managed fine. But
Okay.
I actually don't know anything else, so... but let's actually take a look at the teams and the players, of course, which players we have here. We're starting with Cloud9, with, of course, AUI 2000. What's the most thing you can say when you see AUI? What do you think of?
He's got an item named after him.
Yeah, like who has that?
Radavawi.
This is true.
I actually love his
Very few people actually get that.
Yeah.
his hero coaching things as well.
Yeah.
Like he definitely doesn't have that, but he does have is a very terrible British accent, which he knows, and he smiles because he can hear me. He tries, though. He tries.
The replacer of Sing Sing in many teams.
Yeah.
His poke is amazing, Father.
Yeah. And here's the master of Mario.
I think there's a typo of his name. Missing a couple of like
C's
Right?
and Y's.
die. That's
No, definitely an anchor player for his team, by the way.
sure.
Pun.
That's
That was a good pun.
Really
What?
good.
What?
camera shy. Jackie Mao has
No,
left.
this is actually very typical because right before a game, what he always does is he has like this ritual before he
needs to wash
plays
his
here.
hand.
He goes to the toilet, washes his hands, and make sure his hands are warm because he
Yes.
washed it with warm water. So
I
he's
actually
ready to play.
love the just the focus on the chair.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
But it's very stereotypical because that's like part of his ritual, and that indicates that the game is soon starting. And of course, the guy that was not able to make it to Starladder last time, but he's here fully healthy. It is Bone7, off-lane player for Cloud9.
His bat rider is
Well,
actually
technically,
amazing.
he did make it to Starlighter. He just got sent home.
True, and he left the next day. Yeah, but that indeed, you're right. It happened. They're gonna go up against 4 anchors. This is their last series, actually.
Yes.
Yeah.
So they're
Huge
doing
games.
amazingly well.
Put on quite a show so far, I guess.
Yeah.
Matum
I mean,
Maman.
honestly, it was surprising to see them do as well as they did a little bit earlier on. But even 1-1 against CG is very impressive, like
Yeah.
taking a game off them. So, and of course, Mutumba Man, the man himself, the Slark legend.
Slark picker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Boogie. The guy
His-
that's like the quiet force of the team, it feels like.
Well, he plays Skyrat a lot.
Yeah, but he's like everywhere, but I mean it's mostly Jarex and Matuman that get the fame, but without him a lot of it wouldn't be possible, right?
Yeah.
That's true.
He's a good cornerstone of the team, and the captain, the Earth Spirit Picker. What else
Absolutely
to
filthy,
say?
this guy. Like, the dirtiest person
They
I've
actually
ever
have to
seen.
clean his chair every time he leaves it.
Yeah. He actually, when he missed something or tried something and didn't work, and he yelped like a girl. He
Well,
yelped.
the whole team does
The whole
actually.
team- well, Trixie only did it because he heard his teammate do it and he wanted to copy it, I think. But
There's
of course,
Valix.
Valix there as well.
They're Viper player actually. Just
They're all
He was
monsters
there,
actually. Slark, Viper, and Earthspear.
Since yesterday, he hasn't lost a game on Viper, I think. Was he playing Viper previous game? I don't think. Yeah, actually he was. Okay, so he just lost a game, but he wasn't listed having any wins on Viper before this tournament, this LAN event started. At least not in that Dota. And of course, Trixie there as well,
He's the Finnish father
the Finnish father.
for this team.
And to be honest, he's often called the tactical feeder of the team. But lately, like it's not no longer the case. I feel like
Oh, he's grown out of it, man.
He's
he
grown out of
can't be
it.
the tactical feeder anymore. He's got
I
to be
agree.
Papa Trixie.
He's really actually impressive to watch because he always pushes the characters to the limit. Like, and I guess
Yeah.
you feed for a while and then eventually you learn. Okay, this is my limit. Let's
I mean,
relax.
if you never try to push it, you're never going to know what you can and can't do.
True. And these two teams will have one series together, so 2 games. Let's take a look at how they do so far in the standings. I mean, for Cloud9, it's pretty obvious, but
They last.
yeah, but for Anchors,
Not doing great.
I mean, they're sitting on top. They're the only team to be having their games almost done, though. So that needs to be said. They've played most games. Do you think they will be holding on to their position, Shane?
In first place.
Yeah, or at
Probably
least
not.
top 2. Let's say top 2.
If they 2-0 Cloud9, it's actually not looking too bad, to be honest.
So far, I mean, of course, the favorites were like EG, Cloud9, and Team Tinker, and both of them were 1-1 against for Anchors.
Yeah.
I mean,
So-
if they 2-0 Cloud9, that's the 3 top favorite teams that they did well against. So,
Yeah.
hey,
They're definitely coming to the LAN finals, though.
Yes.
We said that earlier.
Yeah, they definitely are. Well deserved as well. I mean, they're putting up an amazing performance, which of course is really important because they don't have a sponsor yet, and like their value is increasing every day by the looks of this.
I've been trying to convince them to let me draw them a picture for their new logo. I'm pretty good at
You
art.
don't like the picture that they have?
No, it's amazing, but I can improve on it.
But are you better than Ted?
At drawing?
Yeah.
Definitely not.
Okay. Well, then why wouldn't Ted do it?
He's too expensive.
That's probably true.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
You're like the second string artist.
Yeah, when I take all the work he doesn't want. It's not great, but you take what you're given.
Well, anything in particular that you're going to expect from this game? Are we going to see Slark ban out? First question. Yes, no. I want to actually have... Is Cloud9 going to ban out Slark?
I feel like when a team runs something so much that even though you have to respect the individual player skill of like Matumbu Man, who plays like an amazing Slark, at the same time, like PPD said, there's limitations on the hero, right? So there's obviously ways that you can deal with it, and it's just up to like if they want to deal with it or not. If they're feeling like, oh well, we can just ban it and then play our own style, then they could do that. If they think, okay, we can fight it, then they'll just go the EG route and end up going 1-1 like everybody else.
And what's your answer then? Are they going to ban
I think
it?
they'll leave it in.
They'll leave it in.
Yeah.
Do you not think Cloud9 plays like a kind of split pushy kind of style and that it's kind of vulnerable towards Slark?
I'd say they're probably more prone to split pushing than most teams are, so I agree in that sense. But I also still think that they could just do what a lot of teams do and just pick AM, because Envy loves that hero. And I think if they give him Slark,
He also
then
loves
they'll take AM.
Doom as well. We saw him last Dreamleague and he was wrecking on Doom every game he
Yeah.
played.
I actually think the Cloud9 pick a lot of heroes that are good against Slark. So I think they'll actually leave it in.
Lumi, the resident expert.
Envy has no respect. He will leave it in and beat it.
Why do you just say
Fair
that?
enough.
No, seriously, he will not respect it.
All right.
Okay.
That's it.
I
That's
think-
your words.
I think he's going to leave it in, purely because he just saw how AG beat it.
So all 4 of us said leave it in.
Well,
First
I thought
ban
it was a
Slark.
very interesting question to have.
Yeah, definitely.
So hereby, well, let's see if they're going to leave it in. It's
Sure,
not, the game has
yeah.
not started yet, so we're still waiting on that for people that are wondering. But anything like Cloud9, this is their first game, or are they going to have a warm-up game like EG? EG, of course, had like the first game of the day, stereotypical loss.
Well, for
apparently.
Cloud9, it feels like every game is their warm-up game, so you never really know what they get.
Okay.
You flame them all day.
That's, yeah,
Saying-
I know.
Like
I
real
know.
talk, I keep it short. You know, I'm not gonna dance around the bush, as some may say. I think the key hero for them,
That's right.
actually for both teams, is gonna be Centaur for Trixie
Yep.
Okay.
and Terrorblade for Envy. 'Cause
Terrorblade.
let's not forget about that. He's still fairly good in that hero. Run over
on, you
teams,
man.
and we haven't
What-
seen
what
Terrorblade
did
at
they
all.
pick with Terrorblade? Like, what did he make? Like a Batrider? That kind of stuff?
It
Doesn't-
feels like it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
No, it's actually in this patch, it's Envy's most played hero, the
Yeah,
Terrorblade, and
by
he has
far.
like 80% win rate of it or
So
something like
pretty
that.
good.
He had
Pretty
like
good.
100% win rate with 12 games at one point, and then teams started to figure
Holy
it out.
crap.
Yeah, but the question is, like, isn't that a known thing? Wouldn't they be seeing that hero banned out by 4EFC?
I assume so. I mean, I think one way is to know what they're good at, but another way is finding ways to beat it. Same thing what EG did to 4AC earlier. Like, you know they're good at Slark. You need to find ways to beat Slark, and they did. So if 4AC has the confidence to leave Terrorblade in, they better have an answer.
How does Slack do against Terrorblade? I think it's quite good, actually. Isn't he?
Yeah, because he can't get sundered if he's invisible.
Yeah, and he
In
can
the
actually...
ultra late game, Slark actually gets like annihilated by Terrorblade.
But he can leap through all the illusions and find the real one that way.
But do you really want to leap through all those illusions and then find yourself in the middle of like 5 of them and just explode?
It'll be fine.
It's painful. Unless you're invisible.
I actually think like mid game, Slark is a huge annoyance to TB.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
late game, if you don't kill him in your ulti, you're dead. You explode.
And so far, we've seen most games go to late game.
Yeah.
So in that regard,
Well, it's like 35, 40 minute mark, somewhere around there. That's
Yeah.
when most of the games actually like end. So.
but that's like about the turning point for late game. So
yeah.
it's a risk.
It depends on how good your farm is, basically. Like, it's pretty optimistic to be 6 slotted at 40 minutes in a pro game, unless you're like totally crushing, and then the game wouldn't last 40 minutes. So.
Okay.
Also, I think Cloud9 would bring a couple of heroes that we haven't seen much in this particular tournament. Bat Rider is definitely one of the go-to favorites. Obviously, we see that hero from time to time. Let's not forget Fada has a Troll Warlord, which in combination with certain carries, whether it's a Slark or a Terrorblade, buildings will melt. And I think that's something that 4ASC has trouble with. They have trouble taking buildings, they have trouble protecting their buildings. And a lot of games where they lost is like they actually win the fights, but they just lose buildings. Like our last game, RTZ just ignored the fights and just went up high ground.
It has a lot to do with the depth profit pick as well. Like when 4 Anchors pick depth profit, in the past it actually went really, really well for them for that kind of way. They made the space with it, like they pushed the towers. But in the last game, they just struggled really hard.
I think that Profit was actually banned out. I'm not sure.
It was, yeah.
DP's been banned most games, actually, I think, right?
Yep.
At least in the first 4.
I think so too.
Something like that. People really do not like playing against that hero.
By the way, for people wondering why we're taking so long, there are some server issues on the side of Cloud9, so we're waiting for that to be fixed before we can actually head into the game.
They actually need a voice communication server. Not like a Dota server. They don't have any voice program, so they're looking for one right now.
You're more informed than I am.
Well, we have computers, so we're cheating.
I have paper and pen. It is
So old school.
You gotta
it's
move
old
to the
school,
digital
yet
age,
effective.
Shaver. You gotta.
But nobody else is writing on my paper for me to read what is going on. That's probably
You need like invisible ink
That's
or
why
something.
you have Bald Bros. We're here to provide information.
Wow. Okay. Went that
What
route.
information?
Well, okay, I was. You
How,
weren't.
how did you find that out?
You're literally in the lobby. Just look at the screen.
Oh,
It takes like 2 seconds to read it.
got it. I can give them a team speak.
I'm pretty sure they said they had one. But
Okay.
Who
Well,
knows?
as you can hear, the problem is being solved. I'm actually kind of curious because for this matchup, previous 2 series that we saw, Virtus Pro and 4ASC against EG, all of the teams have played against one another in the XMG Captain's Draft, where the results were actually the same, so 1-1. But these 2 teams have not faced since like September, and that was in Star Ladder group stages. It was a best of 1, Cloud9 won, but that was in a whole different period of 4ASC. I mean, at that point, they weren't as dominating as they are now. Like, it was actually like 2 months ago or so, and they've grown a lot since then. I'm curious what you're expecting here for this series.
Well, I think this series, it could very likely go 1-1. But I think moving forward for 4AFC, I'm actually a bit worried. Like, right now, they're doing really well. They're winning some of the top teams. But I think what they lack is experience and depth. Because I think if they play like a best of 5, best of 7, or a ton of games, they're going to get figured out. They're still picking the same heroes, which is working, which is okay. But in a best of 3 or a best of 5 where the series gets longer, teams are going to adapt. We saw Game 2, EG bounce back. Even though the game looked pretty close, it's like 24-12 at one point. To me, the game was not close at all. EG held on to all their towers to the very late game. And Matumba Man, even getting his best hero, wasn't able to do much.
Yeah.
So I think they're getting figured out as we speak.
But you're still saying 1-1
Well, it's
for this series.
For this series, but
Yeah.
I'm saying moving forward to DreamHack Winter, I'm not sure if they're going to have a
enough.
near
What's
as
the
of
thing?
a good success.
you can watch a game and you can have a pretty good idea of how a specific team plays. But until you actually play against them yourselves, like for instance, if Cloud9 had a chance to watch the second EG versus 4ASC game, it's like, okay, well, we know what they do, but you haven't actually played against it yet. So I feel like there's always that one game where you're still going to end up making a handful of mistakes that you're like, oh, okay, now we've actually like completely figured it out. And that's why Lumi thinks maybe 1-1. Because, I mean, no matter how many times you watch a team, you have to play them to really get a feel for what they do. So
And it's their first game as well.
I'm kind of inclined to agree with him that it would probably just be 1-1.
Okay, I'm going to go the other way. I'm going to say Cloud9 have studied them. And it's going to be 2-0 Cloud9. Just throw it out there.
Also,
I want to say 1-1 as well.
I'm
but-
changing my mind.
Oh.
They're going to ban Slark.
Oh, yeah, but you.
No,
they haven't.
They haven't done it yet.
They haven't done it yet.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh,
'Cause-
nice. Nice.
Okay, so apparently they did ban Slark. We are gonna have the game. We're gonna see who's right, who's wrong in terms of predictions. Let's find out and go into the game.
Okay, so just as a disclaimer, the Slark was not banned
No,
when
it
I
was.
said that.
Yeah.
It was.
How can you just lie to so
I'm
many
throwing
people?
you under the bus, Andy.
Jesus.
No, it wasn't.
No, actually, I cheated anyway because I heard them say they were going to ban it.
Ah.
It's fine.
So you cheated a different way than I accused you of
Yeah,
cheating.
but see, nobody knew because nobody else heard it but me. And I could have gotten away with it, but I self under the bus.
Let me help you with the chair, Andy.
What? No, it's fine. I'm not. It's just a
Okay.
finger.
disabled
My arm's
person.
not broken,
Okay. Sorry.
but you can scoot over. That would be lovely.
Okay. Do you want to sit on my lap?
I mean, I don't feel like I've been good enough of a boy for that. Plus, it's a PG-13 show, Shane. Come on.
They can't see it.
That's true. Can't see it. It's not illegal. Okay. So it looks like Cloud9 just are going for the route of we're not going to give for ASC something that they're extremely comfortable
their
with.
dual combo. Like
Yeah.
first pick.
We
Skyra.
see a lot of Boogie Skywrath, and we see a heck of a lot of Matumba Man Slark, and neither are actually going to be available to them here. So Jarek's actually said in an interview, I want to say 2 days ago, that they feel confident in their hero pool. So they said, you cannot ban us out.
It's small but
Right.
effective.
So what is their plan, basically? Why is everyone laughing at that?
Did you even get the joke? No.
I got it, but
Okay.
it's like, if it was a funny joke, I would have laughed.
Okay, sorry, Andy.
I actually think the more important ban is not Skyref, but Centaur. I would have banned Centaur
Centaur
Slark.
against 4ASC?
Centaur Slark would be my ban if I'm Cloud9.
Okay.
But looks like we're gonna. It will surprise me greatly if Centaur is not picked here.
I kind of like it like this though. If I was 4 anchors, because it's not like halfway through your draft. You're like, okay, maybe we'll get Slark, maybe we won't. You know what I mean? It's like we have a full 5 hero thing just to plan it out. You know what I mean? We have all the time in the world. Let's relax and think about it. So I think they could even go pick their Earthshaker, like their Jarek's hero, like really early.
No, they won't.
No?
I
Okay.
mean, Jurax have never done that. This could be the first time ever.
I think they usually take ES third or fourth,
Yeah.
No, they take it fifth.
if they do. No, I think it was third or fourth, wasn't it?
Really? Okay, we'll see. It's gonna be Ogre Magi. That's the first pickup.
And maybe Avenge.
Avenge has been massively popular
It's
lately.
very, very good with the puck pick because of the new Aghanims upgrade. Like everyone's picking a puck just for that Aghanims upgrade as well, and the combination with that is beautiful.
We will see soon.
Oh,
Oh, they're just going Ember.
Early Ember
Okay.
Spirit. Okay.
So, you know, when people do stuff like this, when the Slark is banned out and they just go Ember, like a second pick, it leads me to believe that Matumba Man has the smallest hero pool of anybody on the team. I'm not saying that to Flame. I'm just saying, like, do you really want to show Ember immediately after already having seen a puck on the enemy opposition? Like, do you...
this early in the game.
Yeah, I mean, do you really want to pick it that early? Because I feel like Ember is punishable, and I feel like there's already a hero that punishes it.
Okay, let me recall what he has played. He has played Ember, he has played Slark,
Anti-mage.
Anti-Mage, and Medusa.
Yep.
That's all I can remember. So
Oh, I must have not been here when he played Medusa.
he played it one game against VP Polar.
Was it yesterday?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. That's why I didn't remember seeing that.
Maybe, you know, like, I think you could actually leave one of those hard carry till the very last pick, too. I think they're just like,
Well, it could potentially be mid as well.
Yeah.
Like, have we seen Valix play any Ember at all?
no, I have
No.
Okay. But you have to assume mid players probably play Ember,
Sure,
right?
sure.
So it definitely could be possible.
Okay.
I just feel like you open up with Ogre Ember. It's not necessarily the strongest laning phase I've ever seen. Like, even if it was Ember versus Puck mid, I think that the Puck still does reasonably well in that matchup. And if you put it safe lane, do you want to put Ember on a player like Matumba Man who just wants to go for the hyper aggression all the time? Like, for Slark, it's okay, because you can actually get in and out of the opponent's woods pretty easily and not get punished so hard.
Well, did you not
But-
see the Ember Spirit game yet? Oh,
I did. He started out really strong,
like 9-1.
and then he died a bunch of times.
But he
in a row.
was
9 and
like
4,
he
yeah.
was like at the tier 2 tower top for Dire, like as Radiant, like just diving.
Right, I mean, I guess NT point is, yes, you can make a lot of things happen as Ember Spirit, but when you pick it up so early, it gives Cloud9 a lot of time to pick and counter it if they care about it or not, and kind of attack him in a different angle, so...
Well, if they know enough to ban Slark, I'm pretty sure they know enough to know that his play style is ultra aggressive.
Yeah,
like,
prepare yourself.
to a fault. I think Singh referred to it as reckless, more or less. Like, he was walking into high ground with no vision, enemy woods, going for solo kills.
When he plays Ember as well, he doesn't actually really use Fire Remnant to back up. He uses it aggressively for the burst.
He wants to go farther in.
Yeah, yeah,
There-
go.
There is no handbrake. It's just game, which I respect. Like, I
mean,
can get behind that.
There's an argument that Ember is picked as a pseudo counter to Puck, because when you chain him, you can't phase.
That's true.
So it's not all just
They
like
counter
hey,
each other.
Yeah, it's not
basically.
just say that Ember is going to get wrecked, but for now, Elder Titan's going to be the follow-up. It seems like support Elder Titan has been all the rage lately. No Tail has started a trend.
Yeah.
I think ET's just always been a really good hero. And I really like the fact that in the previous series, EG actually picked Elder Titan against the Slark team. Slark is basically the stat king. Like, he's very similar to heroes like Morphling, who just all stats. Plus, the Spirit gives you vision of him. So if you see him juke into the woods or something, you can find him, make sure you have a stomp for TPs and stuff like that, and he can't really juke that effectively. So obviously in this game, it's just really nice against heroes when you want to try to go for burst. Like just throwing out a spirit and having a puck combo land, it almost makes it into pure damage, basically. So you can really just take down an Ember who doesn't really have a lot of survivability early, or whoever, basically. But the picks are actually going pretty slow in this draft.
If I'm 4 anchors here, I don't know, in the last game we saw the power of Void,
Yeah.
so I'm worried about Void if I was them. What do you think would Cloud9 pick it?
I think it synergizes quite well with their heroes, actually.
Yeah.
Like ET and Void is really strong. Puck can actually still deal some damage, or what some people do is like they'll blink into the sphere and just slam on Waning Rift until it ends, and then you just Rift Coil, and then
Sure.
it's pretty solid. So I think both are definitely choices that you can make. And since Cloud9, we could assume that the Elder Titan could be either offlane or support right now, but we're not 100% sure. Whereas 4ESC actually have one guaranteed support, and it's Ogre Magi. So
Yep.
if I was going to pick something like a Void, I would wait until a little bit later until I was positive as what 4ESC's laning phase was going to look like.
Also
Because
for Cloud9, they don't have the versatility in terms of Void players. I don't think I've ever seen Bone 7 play Void.
Envy plays it?
Yeah, Envy plays it, so it's
Yeah.
almost always a safe lane. Whereas for EG, they could off lane it, they could safe lane it.
That's true.
So, yeah, I'm with Andy on this one. I would wait till I know the lanes a little bit better.
Okay. Oh,
Necrophos,
the
okay.
game winner.
It's Valix's favorite hero, at least right now.
Like, it's almost like Cloud9 invited them into doing it by banning AA.
I think actually the Centaur ban and the AA ban both favor picking Necrophos here.
Yeah.
I mean, those are two heroes that, I mean, obviously AA counters you with healing, but just having a Blink Initiator that just jumps on you and max movement speed for the entire enemy team, it's pretty terrifying, actually.
Was it Alliance that were playing the Necrophos the other day against the Centaur?
I don't actually remember. Was it Alliance?
I'm not sure.
But I remember that game not going well.
Yeah, the Necro struggled very heavily
It
with
was
the
Tinker.
aggression.
It was Tinker.
Yeah,
It's
Tinker,
quite
sorry.
Tinker with a Blink Dagon BKB.
Yeah, he's just too weak.
Yeah.
I think Necro is one of those heroes, actually, that as decent of a pick as I think it is here, just because they don't have anything directly that just totally crushes him, it's also one of those heroes that you kind of do want to take the late game. And depending on what Cloud9 pick, like, you want to be able to make sure that you gain benefit of going like Aghanim's Blink builds. And you want heroes to actually be able to follow it up too. Because I don't actually think that building pure tank is the best way after having seen
A mix
teams.
is...
Yeah. You want the mobility to be able to jump a hero and burst guaranteed and get somebody out of the fight.
Okay.
And he really suffers from not having any initiation of his own. And from what we've seen so far, if Valix is the only person on the team who plays it, it's probably going to be mid.
Yep.
Which means that they need some kind of initiation as their offlaner.
There's the Puck Venge that we talked about earlier.
Yeah. EG did the same thing, I believe.
Yeah.
Twice in a row.
But this opens up the Ravage, I think. Or
Yeah.
not the Ravage,
The Melon
no, the Void. I think it's a good pick for Void here.
for Cloud9.
Yeah.
Void's not looking too bad.
Yep. I'm pretty sure they're planning on picking it.
I think their damage might be a little bit lackluster in the early game if they have Void. But again, we don't know what the fifth hero is going to be. And I'm still assuming this is an ET offlane. I don't really think it's going to be support yet.
But I like the fact that 4 has drafted quite a bit of burst damage,
Yep.
which kind of
To help the Necro out.
grows Cannon Hammer Necro.
They actually could go Elder Titan support and pick something like Timber for offlane. Because Timber actually like decimates all these heroes really badly.
Necro? I'm pretty sure Necro's not bad against.
Well, the heavy burst is the main thing, right?
Yeah.
So if like Puck initiates on you and you get Timbered as well, like you just
Yeah.
die, flop over.
You
Bone
could-
7 has been playing some Timber on his stream.
Really?
Sorry, I've been cutting you off.
How is he getting on?
He thinks his hero is overpowered.
Okay.
But looks like we're going to see a Bone 7 Batrider instead
He said he thinks Timber's overpowered
in pubs.
in pubs.
Just
Okay.
solo carry and get 35 Bloodstone charges.
I'm looking forward to seeing it. Like,
And then
maybe next game.
Envy and I played pubs together.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, let me safe lane Timber, he says. He got a lot of farm and then we lost. And then he hates the hero. So, you know. So,
What a fickle person.
Yeah.
It's like I owned one game, didn't own another. This hero sucks.
I didn't get 35 Bloodstone charges. What's wrong?
I don't know. Must be a Bloodstone problem. So Cloud9 actually have opted to go in for a lot of catch here, which I do like against heroes like Ember and Necro, just because you can start the fight on your own terms. But I'm wondering what their actual carry choice is going to be. Do they just still end up picking something like
Ooh.
Drow?
There's still a Wisp for 4 anchors.
So you
how
think
good
Wisp
is
Necro?
Terrorblade here?
Yeah,
That's your
maybe.
core.
Terrorblade. He has the Batrider to help him with the space.
I think that Cloud9 actually have a really good team for actually just playing 4v5.
Yeah, so you want heroes like Anti-Mage, Morphling, Terrorblade, something that does a lot of building damage on their own, right?
Well, they can definitely get away with it. Like, there's no question. Like, Terrorblade in the early game, the worst thing they could do is end up picking a hero, and actually 4ESC pick first out of this last phase, so... Or no, they don't, never mind, it's Cloud9. So it kind of hurts a little bit that they have to pick. No, wait, this is a ban.
This is a ban.
Yeah, it's a ban. Okay, so they are
They take out
picking.
Shadow Demon. That almost screams a Spectre pick.
Spectre, yeah.
Could be
kinda
AM
does.
as well.
Could be AM, yeah.
I think Shadow Demon's actually worse to deal with as AM than Spectre.
Or some sort of Radiance carry.
Radiance carrier.
I mean, Shadow Demon is also fairly good against TB because you could make the too high damaging illusion as well.
Dude, can they play Wisp? Have you seen them play Wisp?
I
or
have not
for
seen
anchors?
Drex play with.
It could also just be a Batrider counter pick. Like, they just wanted to get rid
Yeah.
of it. And they know that 4ESC actually needs another support, and Bruno's Screaming Disruptor. And it's going to
Mirana.
be Mirana.
Okay.
Come on, Void.
Void would be pretty good too. I feel like Cloud9 has their options, you know?
They have a lot of choices, honestly. Like, there's a lot of good heroes they could pick right now.
So
Watch
would you
them-
say, like, at this point, they have outdrafted 4 anchors since they have so much option going into this last
No, I don't think so. I feel like 4ESC is still ridiculously strong fighting. Like,
The Roam is really strong as well
the
with Ogre
problem
and
with their
Mirana.
team, actually, is that like, I almost think that Cloud9 want to pick a BKB carry here. Just because
I
of-
can hear Envy screaming
like-
Terrorblade.
Is that what he said?
Yeah, he's
I couldn't actually hear it. But
quite funny.
either way, it's one of those teams that actually just drops off significantly. Like, both teams do, actually, once BKBs come out. Like, both teams are pretty much entirely comprised of magic damage. Cloud9 even more so than 4ESC. And Ember is like the one physical damage dealer that you basically have
Alright.
left, and it is going to be Void.
Void.
So we talked about it a little bit earlier. Good synergy with the Puck, good synergy with the ET and the Bat. Pretty much everybody, actually. It's decent follow-up. And I think that this gives Cloud9 maybe the pressure factor, which basically means that 4ESC, although they do have a Necrophos, you get one Reaper, man. What if he backtracks the one Reaper
Oh
to
my
end them all?
god.
What if that happens?
Don't joke about that, dude.
It's like 90 minutes in, like Lumi's just he's
Sweating.
in it.
Going
He's
ham,
sweating.
yeah.
He's in it to win it. And there's a Reaper's Scythe
Backtrack.
when 4ESC are inside of Cloud9 space. And then suddenly it gets backtracked.
Justice.
And then
And
Mercy was
Sama
not had that day.
And then his
would
hair,
have no mercy at
his
all.
hair goes all yellow, and he's like,
You know, I just like to remind viewers, Envy, whenever he wins a tournament, if he ever wins a tournament, he will grow his hair long
and dye it white or
and
blonde.
bleach it or dye it or something. So just,
I did not know that.
let's hope this is not a Boba promise.
Well-
And esport promises.
To be honest, I think
Oh,
what Envy said is a bit more realistic than what Sam said.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's true.
I mean,
Because I'm pretty sure the hair grows back.
the hair definitely grows back.
Well, for some.
Unless you're me.
For some.
And you. It's all right. We can hug it out
I
later.
wish my hair grew back. Matumba man. Matumba man.
So for laning phase, we just think traditional, probably Elder Titan support, VS top with a Void, Puck mid, Batrider offlane.
Yeah. It's looking like that as well.
How
I'm
excited
kinda-
are you guys to see the Fata puck?
He's amazing at it. It's like his highest win rate.
Yeah.
I think I'm actually going to start watching Fata's Puck replays because I play Puck a lot, and I just cannot win on that hero. Like,
Do you
I
go
wanna say-
Dagon?
He
or
even goes the
what?
same build. He goes Dagon.
yeah,
Yeah, he goes Blink Dagon like you do.
yeah. Well, I mean, it's a pretty standard build. Some people actually who play Puck a lot say that going Dagon before Blink sometimes can be good
The-
because it makes you so much more deadly, like in being able to find solo kills. Because the coil range is super long cast, so you can usually catch out supports and
going
stuff.
on?
But I'm sure he'll go Blink for this game just for the sole purpose of catching out the Ember. But nonetheless, see the lane's taking shape here, and
I haven't seen Jarx's Mirana yet. I'm excited to see that.
Well, if it's anything like his Sand King, I'm pretty sure we're going to be in for a good time. Shoot arrow, hit arrow. That's the saying, right?
That's the same.
You know, this particular very standard ward that both teams have dropped, but especially Cloud9 dropped first and then now saw the high ground vision. I think this particular ward has been very good against 4ASC. When I see this ward being dropped, it really limits the surprise factor that Jurex has in the early game. And EG did very well this game, last game when they dropped this ward. Like none of Jurek's gank actually worked. So we'll see if that's the vision that Cloud9 needs to avoid a couple ganks. In any case, no surprise, Bone7 is going to be going in bottom lane with the Bat Rider. Mid, Fata Puck, we kind of talked about it. Scouting bottom right now, we have AEI 2000. Finally not paying with 2000 or 250 ping. Because
While I die, just gets arrowed in the face.
well, that ward will eventually get denied.
100% arrow accuracy.
Die on the Vengeful Spirit. Is Jurek going to deny it this
Deny
ward?
it, go on.
Yeah!
Oh,
Missed! And E Fire jumps up, wastes a bit of mana to get a better block. All right. That's cool.
It's actually quite easy to block the safe Dire lane as opposed to the safe Radiant lane. Like, it's pretty ridiculous how fast the creeps are on Radiant side until they actually get to the tower.
Jurex will be playing the TIE Hunter. Back in the mid lane we have, or sorry,
Trixie.
Trixie playing TIE Hunter. Jurex on the Mirana. We have Matumba Man going mid on Ember. Bottom is going to be Boogie on the support Ogre, and then Valix safe lane Necro.
I'm a bit surprised they actually opted to change this up. Maybe they're really scared of the VSCT roam, I guess.
Yeah.
And they think that the Ember would have a better chance of living against that. To be honest, I think, depending on how much harass Fata's able to do in the middle lane, if Matumba Man gets caught, he probably would just end up dying anyway.
If you get an early point...
I mean, look at this damage output.
Jeez.
This is why Ember can't lane against Puck. It's because with a Null Talisman, you already hit so hard, and he only has 1 base armor, and he's going for Bottle Rush, so he doesn't even have a... Well, he does have a stat, actually.
Well, they're
He's still
actually going to
taking a ton
jump
of damage.
for Highlight Die in a little bit of trouble. Actually,
Taking a bit of guff. I think he
I
might
think
do the
Trixie's dead.
regoose.
I think Trixie just...
No mana for leap on Eternal Envy.
Magic Missile?
He hasn't actually learned it.
He has Howl, yeah.
Okay.
He has Howl for the harass.
I think the reason they actually... Oh, as we see Arrow hitting Bone7 on the bottom lane, and he does have Firefly. He does have also 2 Ring of Protection, so that's 6
He
armor.
takes no, like, so
In
little
fact,
damage.
he's like giving Jirax a little bit of the damage back. And now he'll run away for now.
He actually hits for 20 damage when he hits Bone 7.
Pretty unimpressive. I think they had the Bat Rider, or sorry, they had the Ember mid. Because if Ember was safe laning with Ogre against a Bat Rider, doesn't the Bat Rider just run all over them?
Not really. You can't aggressively dive on a Ember Spirit. Like,
No, but like just CS freely, never really have a kill opportunity. At least I think the Necro could harass a little bit.
Yeah, I think so.
yeah, maybe the Necro's better for the laning phase. That's true.
Do you get an early point in Sleight of Fist, knowing there's Avenge against you, and she could roam? Like, it's easy dodge of the stun.
I think as long as you're good about managing your HP and mana, that you really shouldn't need the Sleight of Fist to dodge. And I think that getting the extra point of the Flame Guard, in all honesty, might give you more reliable survivability than having to disjoint an ability in order to stay alive, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So as long as Matumba Man is diligent about being like high HP and not letting Fata just punch him to like half health, I think he'll be more than fine, even without Sleight of Fist.
Looks like Bat Rider is going to give up the bottom lane and start to jungle, and his supports have been stacking for him. Actually, it's a huge stack
Holy
in the jungle.
crap.
Jesus Christ.
It's
Cloud9
only, what,
supports doing
4
work,
stack?
man.
I wish I had supports like this.
I mean, that's a big stack on the
No, it's 3 stack.
3 stack, but it's a Might Golem, so.
And a 4 stack on the big...
The tomatoes are real.
Actually, I really like this movement now. AOE 2000 is going to go to the bottom lane, soak up a little bit of experience.
How's the old... Yes.
Might be careful, though, because here comes the ganking squad on the left side.
Fata's doing amazingly on this puck.
Yeah, I don't think that's much of a surprise though.
No.
Like Puck versus Ember, Puck just dominates the early lanes or the early waves.
Trixie coming in jungle, trying to maybe catch in a kind of stack, but he might actually die here.
Well, he does have boots, but here comes Pylai Die.
Yep.
He's
Body
gonna stop.
blocking.
He's just body blocking.
Fata gets a
actually-
solo kill on the mid lane. The stacks are going real right now. That's going to be a 4 stack. Is the magic missile going to occur? Looks like they're going to just chase him away.
He can crack and shell it.
Yeah.
Actually, Envy's going to come forward. He could jump for the slow as well. Let's see if he's going to use it right now. Jump for the slow. Magic Missile will land. That's 7 stacks. Still no Magic Missile just yet. Finally, the Magic Missile. It took 4 heroes to get that kill. I'm not sure if that's a space created, but Envy got the kill.
I think he's happy enough with that.
Yeah.
They did chase him for a pretty long time, but at the end of the day, Bone 7's not really going to be too concerned about wasting that time because all he has to do is get like level 2 Firefly or level 2 Sticky, and he just gets like 3 free levels from the jungle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So as long as Trixie isn't like stealing the stacks or anything, I think that Cloud9 are going to be fine with committing that much to getting a kill.
So any reason for the Void not going Midas when you have a start like this?
I think maybe it's a little bit of fear of the mid game. Just making sure that you have the most like.
Ah,
bang
he's
for your
actually
buck.
going Tritz. Fair. No backtrack.
He goes back for the Maelstrom, though, I'd say? Or does he go straight for the Mask of Madness and fight?
I think Mask of Madness is actually maybe not better, but close to par for what a Maelstrom gives you. And I think the damage output is more reliable with the sheer attack speed.
But you also have Necrolite.
Yeah, that's true.
With Mask of Madness, it might be a bad idea, I don't know.
But if he backtracks it,
There is that, but
then, then it's all worth it.
he actually hasn't learnt the spell.
Not yet. But good Void players don't actually need to skill backtrack to backtrack.
Really?
Yeah.
It's amazing.
At least it feels that way. I've had way too many games where I like watch a replay and a Void has a level 1 backtracks like 4 Laguna Blades in a row, and I'm just like, I give up.
Were you playing ability draft and we're playing
No, I was playing like actual games.
4 in a row?
4 in a row. No, I just mean like not
yeah.
at the same time, but like you throw 4 Laguna Blades and he just backtracks.
Matumba
Man gonna be in some trouble here. Coil's gonna land. Fata actually getting hit in
Well,
the
the
face.
clap
with
is
an
actually
arrow.
going to save him. And the magic missile, where is
Behind
it?
the tower, to the
There's-
left.
It looks like it's already been used, and nobody kills anybody. But all the supports rotate inmates. Suddenly, 6-man Dota.
How did they... Oh, okay, they know where he is now. Ooh.
Dropping pretty low. That tears a lot. Oh, he has to use his ultimate to disjoin the last attack. That's going to secure the top rune for Cloud9. Meanwhile, Drax is going to get the bottom rune.
Who do you prefer farming here? The Necrolite or the Void?
Definitely Void. Like, no doubt about it.
Okay.
I mean, the thing is, people say that you never really won a game against a Krophos because of the late game and having Aghanims and things like that, which I think is true to an extent, but it's going to be so hard to set up good team fights against what Cloud9 actually have between Batrider initiation, Coil, and Sphere, and swapping a hero out who potentially does get Reapered. A lot of teams have a tendency to Reaper very early and assume immediate follow-up damage, so as long as you can disjoint that, then you can pretty much save anybody you want if
Yeah.
your Pylite die. You just have to make sure that you're standing in a decent spot to do it.
He's going for the Midas on the
Bone
Necro.
7 is living life on the edge right now.
He has 2 rings of protection. He's a monster.
He's actually immortal. 9 armor.
It's kind of ridiculous, actually. 9 armor and 6 minutes into the game.
Well, 6 armor for 400 gold is pretty insane, considering a chainmail's 5 for 550.
Them inventory spots, though.
Yeah.
You know, when I've been watching Cloud9 now and EG earlier, it feels like both teams play in a very similar pace as well as the way to approach the game. Like, I see a lot of support stacking. The support has been fairly efficient in both stacking and roaming around. The only big difference is that Fata obviously much more aggressive as a mid player compared to Arteezy. Whereas I think...
Arteezy's usually playing carry for them.
Yeah, well, and MV's playing the carry, so it's like a little bit of swap here.
Yeah.
But in any case, looks like Fata might be a little bit trouble on the mid lane here. He needs to phase right now. He actually phased the chain, so suddenly it's Matumba Man a little bit trouble. He coils onto 2. Here comes the Bone 7. He drags him back to the tower. It's going to be an easy pick off for Cloud9. Matumba Man being aggressive, unfortunately, on the receiving end of
Them
that kill.
TP scrolls.
Yep.
That's kind of what I was saying in terms of Cloud9. Just pick good heroes against what like Ember Spirit does and what Slark does.
Yeah.
It's just, they love Puck. Fata's played Puck for ages and is one of the best Pucks pretty much around, in my opinion. And Bone 7 Batrider is pretty much the same thing.
Yeah.
Both heroes good against Ember and Slark. So,
And Void as well. Don't ever count out the Void. Like, Ember Spirit's side of Fists, and he has his little remnant that he comes back to. And all you have to do is just Chronosphere on top of it, and he's screwed.
It feels like almost always 4ASC starts the game a little bit slow compared to the other team. But they generally make a pretty good mid-game comeback because how well, for example, Trixie Centaur plays and gets them back in the game.
Yeah, they fight and they skirmish really, really
Right,
well.
so what's their fighting mechanism here? Is it the Ember Spirit going ham? Because I don't see like Valix doing much of the fighting this game or contributing too big into
Trixie's not doing too bad on Tide. He's nearly level 6. And after he gets 6, like, I don't know, maybe they try and make something happen. But then again, the Valix has gone for a Midas, so he's kind of saying, like, I don't really want to fight for quite a long time.
that. Yeah.
Like, fighting with Necro Midas is insane. Like, he has 700 life.
I think he just wants the fast 11. Like, level 1 Reaper is pretty...
He's
mediocre.
the saddest as well. Leveling that up is
Yeah.
so...
Like, once you get to 11, 12, your farming speed increases significantly because you never go out of mana, as long as you're making sure that you're hitting a lot of stuff with Death Pulse, and then your Reaper does way more damage, even though it's, I think, only 0.2 health missing difference. it's still massive, and
It's
the way of-
20%.
yeah, it's 20% more damage basically, which is pretty good, obviously. And I feel as though even with the Midas Necro, 4ASC can still fight because they have really good heroes to stand in front, like Ogre, Tidehunter, even Ember to an extent, and Marana, who can just like Moonlight Shadow. And if the other team is even a little bit slow about dropping detection, you might be able to get away with that. So I feel like the Midas maybe not be too bad of a choice here,
Yeah.
but they need to be very wary to not let it go too late, because there's obviously
Fata
a
in mid,
void.
very aggressive.
Man really wants to go for this. Oh man, the Searing Chains. Ember hitting on 2 creeps. Arrow gonna miss. Phase shift. Fata not getting close enough to get hit by that arrow.
Forcing a coil out is not too bad from Fata. And Fata is going to have to phase for the haste rune up top.
So Bone 7 gone for the bots first on Fat Rider.
Oh, Reaper Scythe's going to be used.
Oh, barely didn't kill him.
Yep.
Chronosphere's up.
Are they going to use it
I don't
here?
think they need it.
Well, they're going to use
they're
it to
gonna drop it
secure the
anyway.
kill. Yeah, I don't think so either.
Oh, Bone 7 got arrowed.
I mean, Bone 7, when he plays Bat Rider and gets a BOT, he's very greedy. Like, this is just a... Normally, you rush the blink, right? For a quick pick-off. What do you think is the reason for just going to BOT? Like, do they not need these pick-offs?
I think what he usually does is he TPs like very aggressively towards their jungle.
Yep, and then farm it.
And then farms the whole lane and the whole jungle at the same time.
Yep. I mean, it's essentially like a Midas and a half,
Yeah.
where it's a great item that saves you go throughout the game and helps you get to your next item because
And
you can
also,
Firefly faster.
You don't have to sell or disassemble your boots later to buy bots.
Yeah.
When you buy early bots.
It's the investment.
Yeah. I think it's still pretty solid because if you're having a really good early game and you have high levels of Firefly, being able to farm another 2250 doesn't really take that long. Maybe like 5 or 6 minutes if you're farming well, which I don't think is too unreasonable given the current situation.
yeah.
We're going to be thrown here. Hits on creeps. Looks like Aui's going to be A-okay.
So how do you feel that Marana as a support does from behind? Like, is it really, really weak?
I don't think it's weak. I think it's like, take for example Pudge.
Yeah.
Pudge can have a horrible laning phase, land hooks, and still be very relevant. I think Marana's kind of the same way.
Yeah,
It's like if
as a
you-
carry, I'd say that. But
Well,
like,
no, as a support, I think it's even more prevalent. Right?
but you need your other heroes to be strong too.
Fata,
Easy kill.
instantly dead.
Okay. Like,
I mean-
you need someone else to do the damage.
Well, yeah, but if you land a 5-second arrow, you have Reaper Scythe, you have Ravage and Ember Spirit. There's a lot of damage follow-up on their team.
Okay.
I'm not even gonna say, like, even if you miss your arrow, the fact that you could turn your entire team invisible, like, that's a lot of utility. Matumba Man takes a rune away from 2, chains them up, and then just runs away. I mean, Moonlight Shadow is just a thing, right? Like,
Yeah.
regardless whether you land your arrow or not. And generally, you are gonna land your arrows just by simply throwing them out to scout, and obviously you could combo into a Fire Blast.
Okay.
So, it's like asking, we're losing really bad, my CM's not doing much.
Are you the CM in this case?
I mean, in this case, like, I'd rather have a Marana than a CM, because
Yeah,
Marana's capable of making
The big
bigger
play.
bigger impact plays.
Yeah, okay.
Dude, that's CM aura. You know?
Think about the freezing field.
2.5 mana regen.
5 digits damage.
It's pretty legit. Literally a million damage.
Matumba Man has had a lot less of impact in this game. Like, they knew he was going up against Puck.
Well, he solo died to Fata.
Yeah.
So whenever you solo die to the
The other mid.
opposition, it's very difficult to overcome that kind of discrepancy, especially since Fata is a very well-known puck player and understands when he's ahead and just knows how to abuse things so well.
Also, unlike the previous game where we saw Matumba Man like just diving into the enemy jungle to challenge stacks,
Yeah.
Fata has been doing a very good job shoving the mid wave always on the side of the Radiant River. So Matumba could just leave the lane and do what he wanted to do last time, but he's going to miss a lot of gold. So for now, Matumba is just kind of playing the standard mid game, farming, getting runes. But that means he's also unable to be really aggressive that he like he wants to be.
Look at Valix now. He's actually afraid. He's jungling now with the blink dagger. He has level 2 ulti though. I think they try and game off this.
I think the super early blink is a bit risky. I mean, only having 800 health, that means that Fata can basically solo kill him,
Yeah.
more or less.
So can
is
maybe
pretty
Bone
scary.
7 as well.
I feel like they're not going to have any control for a while. The only bright side, really, is that they've maintained all their tier 1s up until this point, so
And Trixie has a blink.
yeah. If they can defend their tier 1s, I think they'll be in a pretty good spot. Necro is one of those heroes who benefits very well from having his side of the map, like his jungle and everything like that, because that's like one of the most effective spots for him to farm, because he can pull like 3 camps at once in some spots, especially as Radiant. Trixie, though,
You can go AFK and just let the Heartstopper do the work.
I mean,
The lazy man's way.
In some brackets, maybe.
The low priority bracket in particular.
Hey man, I've been already. I've seen cliff jungling Prophets in Heartstopper or Necro builds.
That's what I actually do. I'm a monster.
So something interesting to point out is that Boogie's actually leveling up Ignite. I think
Yeah.
Ignite, if multicast does not exist, Ignite's a better
Ignite's way
spell.
better.
Yeah. So, maybe he's not trusting in his multi-class. So
Is it to do with the mana cost, maybe?
It's a player preference, honestly. Like, the Ignite is guaranteed damage, whereas the Fire Blast is 240, and if you multi, it does more than Ignite, but if you don't multi, it does less.
yeah.
And when you get level 1 multicast, I think it's only 40% chance to get it 2 times.
Only 40%.
Yeah, but it's less than half the time. So Ignite is better 60% of the time, every time.
I like what 4ASC is doing here. They're putting on pressure. That's something that they didn't do. But Jirax seems like he's going to be a little bit trouble. Trixie on the left side is waiting for the Ravage, but the quick kill coming in. The Ravage will get 2. No! Fata phases it. The Reaper side did not get the kill. Coil's leaving on Boogie right now. And Boogie, I think he's going to be dead. The rest of the team is just leaving him at this point. Right kick from Ali to get the kill. So a pretty decent exchange from Cloud9. But
So, Eternal Envy got the kill,
yep.
and then ran as quickly as possible to a last hit. In the Chronosphere.
Gotta be efficient, I think he misclicked.
It was hilarious. Maybe A clicked the ground.
Sure.
But that's hilarious looking.
I thought the value point and backtrack would be enough to save him. Fortunately,
No.
RNGesus was not with him today.
It's not the 90-minute Reaper's Life yet, so he's just saving the RNG for that.
90-minute? 90-minute Reaper's Life would be a little bit crazy. Domination going for the kill here on Fata. Gets his steering chains off. Throws out a
Yarrow.
sleight of fist. He's dead.
Phase! Delay
He's super dead.
for a second.
Okay, some aggression from Matumba man.
Yeah,
That's what I like to see.
he needs to get into the groove, and the reason he could do that, tier 1 down. Like, 4SC just need to get tier 1s. That is like the X factor for me.
Yeah, I think having more space for the Ember is pretty important. Like being able to play it aggressively, farm the dangerous areas while you can to try to let the rest of your team stay like at least a little bit caught up in terms of item progression, things like that. But it does come with its own inherent risks.
Yep.
Just means that Blink Puck or Blink Bat Rider or Void could potentially kill you.
Speaking of the Blink Bat Rider, it is up right now. A little bit delayed because of the BOTs.
But still 16 minutes bots. Blink Dagger, like,
Pretty good.
nothing to complain about there. Oh, you monster, Andy.
Can
Sorry, I
Cloud9
can't.
take fights
Okay,
without
okay.
Chrono?
Oh. It's okay.
It's not going to work.
Oh, why is it down?
Look at the sneak coming out here from Cloud9. They're going to just send Void in. Pylida is going to drop the minus armor. Mask of Manus as well as a
With the
Maelstrom.
illusion tanking it.
Yeah.
With the so what he's doing here, he's move commands the illusion onto Roshan, so it doesn't attack, but it can still tank it.
And he does it one at a time, so it doesn't clap.
Yeah.
So,
Because 3 units makes Roshan.
I mean, this is efficient. Meanwhile, we have 4AC trying to 4-man, 5-man push a tier 2 that was not successful. So taking advantage of the fact that there is no Ravage available. Cloud9 sneaks Roche, taking advantage of the dire situation, and gets more farmed.
Do you want to just sit down there?
At this stage, no, it's fine now. You can't see that? No. Oh, all right. Well, we're moving then, because I can't hold that thing anymore.
Yeah, it's fine.
I think that Envy's starting to get to already kind of a point of critical mass where if he solo spheres pretty much anyone on the side of 4ASC, it's basically a kill.
Yep.
And that's kind of a problem when you have heroes like Ember who want to be able to split push to a certain extent, like having a Remnant out and being able to run is kind of one of his fortes. And I feel like Void's a hero who actually has the animations to be able to catch him, so long as you're familiar with the hero, which I'm sure Envy is. And Bone 7, I mean, you could say the same thing about him too. Just getting a nice lasso is pretty much a guaranteed kill. So I feel like 4ASC's options are fairly limited. I think they kind of have to fight, but fighting into Sphere is also pretty difficult, especially with a puck to back it up.
All right, smoke in the river. If they find Jirax, or in fact, if they find anybody, it's going to be a tower. But for now, top lane's a little bit shoved in, so Cloud9 might need to deal with that.
Jarek's trying to get a bit of farm here, but Bone 7 is literally stalking him.
Highlight Die drops a high ground ward. We'll see it, but the high ground ward being dropped will also let Radiant know, because they got the sentry nearby. That means Envy's going to come in and steal the stack. Not the smoke gang they're looking for, but the smoke gang they'll get.
That's pretty funny. They're just like, hold on a second, where did this ward come from?
That value, man. They got 2 Ancients out of that.
Dumbaman rushing that Battle Fury.
Yeah, I like the choice actually to go to Bracer and just go right back for Battle Fury. Because if you decide to opt in for full drums, that's basically like a Ring of Health or a Void Stone that you can be putting towards an item that actually helps you continually farm, as opposed to just one item that gives you some fighting potential when you know that your fighting is probably not going to be the thing that saves you right now, even though it's kind of your only choice.
Yeah.
Which kind of stinks. But I mean, Valex is doing very well. He's got Blink, Midas, Aghanims. If they can find a couple of kills with that Reaper Scythe, man, that will actually change the game quite a bit,
Yeah,
especially if they find heroes like Envy.
They put them on the sideline for so long, like it actually destroys your farm.
Yeah. I think that's like the most important part now is trying to find picks.
Yeah, at this pace right now, they're gonna just get completely out-farmed.
The thing is though, if 4 anchors smoke up and they go for a pick, Bone 7's really close all the time with them bots.
Yeah.
Like he can nearly always come in and help with the fights.
Well, I mean, I think 4ASC has that kind of lineup where before you could even BOT in, if they're all on top of a hero,
You're
that
dead,
hero should be
yeah.
dead.
That's true.
So, but I agree, like BOT normally would be pretty good. Actually, Fata uses Blink, but he's orbing out. Actually, just a juke.
Oh my god.
Oh, the Reaper Scythe to cancel the TP, and the burst damage was there. 80 seconds.
80
Hello.
seconds.
That is like
Oh god.
the most ridiculous thing, man. That's why I really feel like Venge is good against that combo, because you see, like, he Reapered at 100% HP.
Yeah.
So if he gets, pile I die, tanking an arrow in the face.
What a hero.
Not great. Who's gonna get the kill? Is he gonna be Trixie?
Oh, the Chrono's there. He's actually going to focus on Trixie to make sure that they don't have to...
He has so much damage.
Wow. The deeps are real. No multicast, and here comes the Bat Rider. That's going to be 3 kills and a tier 1 tower. And here's the thing, though. Like, they didn't even need the Venge or the Puck for that.
Yeah. Oh, Valex,
Okay.
Tumba Man, gonna find Owie in the bottom lane.
Getting clicked.
He dead.
Alright, so at least they got some trade out of it.
Yeah, that's like pretty good rebuttal kill, but I think Cloud9 just got way too much in that exchange.
Look how much gold Envy has. Holy crap. Do you finish Mjolnir or do you...
I think he might just go BKB.
Yeah, I think you want BKB against this right now.
Okay. Just
Maybe it's just a little bit defensive, but they're so far ahead.
The
right
thing
now.
is, if you have it this early, it's not that bad, because you pretty much guarantee that if you sphere on like the Ember or the Mirana or the Necro, that you could probably just kill them straight up.
Yeah, they have nothing to stop you.
Yeah. And you don't have to worry about like counter ravages, which I think is the number one concern for him, and maybe just getting Reapered and instantly dying, like we kind of saw happen to Fata in the bottom lane.
Okay, so...
Huh. We should travel from Necros.
It's very early as well.
I think it's one of those things where you already have a Midas, a Blink, and those are 2 items that don't really cost a whole lot that are dedicated inventory spaces. And then if you want to buy a wand, that's another one. And then you have Aghanims, that's like already, what, 4 or 5 inventory spaces?
Yeah.
So you want to be a little bit efficient with the way that you're doing it. And buying bots is a better alternative, I think, than having to carry a TP in this game.
Well, I think it's also the fact that if the Bat Rider is making a jump, you ideally want to be there.
Yeah, he can
Because
help.
chances are you are going to get a kill. If you're
He's
Reaper
also
side.
saying like he can see this game going late game, and he doesn't mind it at all. You know what I mean? Like he's like, okay, we don't need a Shivas right now. We don't need a Hex.
Yeah, that's fair.
I can hear Fada saying he wants to create some space.
Let's hope it's a good kind
Yeah,
of crazy.
exactly.
His score is 322 right now.
Yeah, it actually is.
I mean, I feel like that's
Oh,
almost
God.
too ironic to let go.
Holy crap.
What happens if he just dies immediately now after
Well,
having said
he'll
that?
be 323, man.
Oh,
Or actually,
God.
332.
Don't kill anyone, die, or help your team, please.
Okay, he's gone for the safety BKB.
Yeah, I think it's the right call, actually. Like, their damage is still high enough to where he doesn't need to have, like, a Mjolnir now. He doesn't need, like, an MKB or, like, a Daedalus or anything like that. He already has enough damage to be able to kill with the rest of his team behind him. He just needs to make sure that when he spheres, he's not going to die in his own sphere.
Yeah.
Which I feel like 4ASC are definitely capable of doing if they line up their spells correctly.
It also kind of gives you the freedom of sphering whoever you want. You know what I mean? I guess you can still get Necro ultied, but it won't do any damage.
Yeah, that's a really good point. Because a lot of the time, you kind of just want to go in and sphere the Necro, or you want
the
to sphere the
Tide.
Ember. Yeah, and then the Tide's like standing somewhere else, and you're like, oh god, I'm just going to get ravaged if I go for this guy, but BKB, don't have to worry about it. Fata blinking into winning with the creep wave here. He's going to get stunned up. Trixie throwing out the Anchor Smash. Jaunts to the orb. Fata will be A-okay.
Space created.
Space.
Okay, there's a race for the haste rune here, Mirana.
Oh, man, it's a haste room bait, man. Arrow is going to find Void, I think. No, it looks like it missed.
Look at him.
I love that animation, by the
The
way. It's just
skating.
like- are they saving that room for puck, I guess?
And he's just leaving it there.
Maybe
He's
Bat
not
Rider, I think, is
interested
the
in being
best,
fast.
the best holder. No?
I mean, to be fair, having a haste on Void seems kind of redundant. You have such a huge range leap, and when you're in your sphere, you move at 1,000 movement speed anyway.
I would have thought it'd be really good on Bat Rider there.
Yeah.
So he can like drag
Did
people
Bone
out at
7
the
have a
speed line.
bottle?
No.
Okay. Maybe that's why. I think actually Bat Rider is one of those heroes where having a bottle is always incredibly beneficial, even if you're in the offlane.
Is there any reason why Bone 7's BOT looks like it's muted? Oh,
What?
never mind.
What do you mean? I think it was just on cooldown.
Oh,
It's so weird seeing the items without a hotkey on it.
Yeah. Can't
we're
see
gonna
other
see a
player
fight.
hacks.
Oh, Chrono, that's going to get into. Where's the counter Ravage? There is going to be none. BKB
Oh
not
my
even needing
God.
to be activated now. He finally does activate it. Counter Ravage comes on the back line. Fata gets swapped back out. Pylai dive doing his work, and here comes a Bat Rider. Valak's going to get focused. No Reaper Scythe was spent, and now the Void's just going ham. He sees Boogie. Boogie is no longer to be seen. Everybody dead. Trixie's TP gets cancelled,
Full 5-man wipe.
and they just lost the puck.
Holy crap. You were right there. The BKB was the amazing call. They couldn't do anything against it.
Is that tier 2 and tier 3?
I don't think it's tier 3, but it's definitely tier 2.
Did he
don't
have buybacks?
They have some mana, but they don't have anything to fight with. Like, they don't have coil, they don't have lasso, they have, like, nothing in the tank. So I think they'll probably just be content to back here. And
Farm the jungle a little bit.
Yeah.
Check for Roshan.
Roshan should be on the menu soonish, I believe.
Aghanim's on Void as well.
Good lord, his farm is completely insane.
I really like the fact that he's just keeping the Quelling Blade as long as possible.
Gotta get that efficiency.
I mean, it actually speeds up your farm by an insane amount.
By 32%.
Well,
Not if you have a Maelstrom.
if you're hitting all the time, then yes, 32%. But
You still do 32% more damage. It's 32% more. No, I know
If
what you
you're
mean.
hitting-
Yeah, I know. There's travel time and stuff like that. It's obviously not a flat 32. But
And then he
whenever
just
you
tosses
play,
it on the ground as you talk about it. No love
But
from
look,
there.
I mean, Aghanim's.
he's gonna pick it up with his courier, man. Relax. He's not gonna forget it. He's gonna put
He
it on
just
like
forgot
He
it.
just left it there.
Oh lord.
Envy, the inefficient play. I'm disappointed.
That's like 2 creep kills, 3 creep kills.
It actually hurts my soul.
Actually does.
I always take good care of my quelling blades when
You know,
I play.
when I get
It's lasted you
six-slotted,
so long.
Yeah.
you know when I get six-slotted, I don't sell my Midas. I take it off the courier every 100 seconds. It's like,
Yeah, I do that too. I
get
actually,
that extra gold, man.
I make one of my teammates hold it for me and tell me when it's off cooldown. And then my
Jeez.
butler.
That's like next level.
That's actually
BM.
like terrible. Look at this goal lead. Holy
and
shit.
when-
Shane confirmed encouraging slavery.
And when they die, I'm so angry at them. Like when my Midas off cooldown and they're dead.
with my Midas.
Oh, you idiot!
Jesus.
No, I'd never say that.
Also, it's actually kind of refreshing to see a Bat Rider that's not forced to initiate first, because there's so much option for Cloud9. They have the puck to initiate first, they have the Void, and I guess even Vent should do in a pinch. And then just when you think you could turn on the Void or the puck, suddenly the Bat Rider comes in and follows up.
The Necrolite on Valex is actually doing really, really well. He's nearly even with the Void on farm. Considering all the team fights and all the towers, like that's huge.
Yeah, his farm's definitely stayed very, very high, consistent, but I'm still kind of wondering if that's actually going to be enough, because really the only way they win a fight is if they go in and they blink Ravage on the Void and they manage to kill Envy before he like pops BKB or anything like that.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's going to go downhill extremely fast. Like, he's level 17, he's got Aghanim Sphere, it's 5.5 seconds, it's going to be Ouchtown, USA, population for ASC.
I mean, I guess another way to see this is like Bone 7 might be a little bit. Oh, he blinks off. Like, would you rather have the Void or the Necro right now on your team?
As in,
Right now, like,
I would rather have the Void.
yeah, I would have the Void, no questions.
no-
I don't really
no
think that
question.
one's a question, actually. It's just like,
I mean,
you would pretty much always rather have
It's just
the
like saying, the network's similar. He's keeping up well, but I just don't think the item is nearly as good and the potential of what a Void versus what a Necro could do.
It just, what Void can do is very strong, and it's not really that difficult. Whereas 4ASC kind of have to play around the fact that, hey, if we don't get this pick, we don't get it right away, we pretty much lose the fight. And Bone 7's going to find Boogie here, just covering him in the sticky icky.
Yep.
He's just going to
what?
All right. Well,
Okay, he didn't want to attack him.
he didn't want to die for the
Yeah, it's fair
overkill.
enough.
I mean, in reality, that was actually the right call, because his death is worth a lot more to 4ASC than the Ogre dying.
Sure.
So I think that's actually fine, but I'm
Like
sure he
Shadow?
wanted the kill in itself.
I wonder why he didn't last though. I guess he just saved it for the fight that could come out.
So C9 only really have one like kind of core late game, like one right-clicking damage DPS. Like should have Puck who will have a lot of farm as well, and Batrider too. But if you have Necrolite and you take him out, I don't know. I think anything can happen. Like at this stage of the game, obviously it's looking heavily in favor of Cloud9.
Right. I mean, I guess if you're gonna make that kind of play, you have to weigh out the Aegis first.
Yeah.
Which I feel like Envy never really needs to be exposed in danger because, well, he does this.
Nope, it's fair. Matumba Man, not having a great time. I would actually say that for ESC, these heroes are kind of their style, right? Like very mid-game oriented. They want a team fight. They don't necessarily pick great late game. Have to hold that thought as Jerax is getting last up here in the bottom lane. Gets follow-up stun, gets a flame break to the face, dies very quickly. But I feel as though they never really pick anything that is like ultra late game. If you let us delay the game, we're going to win kind of a style, you know?
Yeah.
And it just seems like Cloud9, this is a normal draft for them. And they're just doing so well with it. Valix is going to be taking a nap up here.
Look
top
behind.
lane. Yeah,
He has
Envy,
Aghanims.
he's coming
oh,
in.
It's not up yet.
Oh, they actually managed to kill Aoi pretty quickly here. Envy doesn't seem to care, though. He's got his BKB up if he wants to use it. He also has Aegis, so he'll be respawning even if he dies once, I which need I don't his think he will.
BKB now. Fata giving chase with Valix, cycling him up in the air, and the rest of the team is coming down. BKB TP. Lasso,
Oh no,
pull down for 29.
Yeah.
not
And,
for long.
I mean, the
Very
Batrider
virtual.
is so confident that he's not even getting a force staff. Like, if you say any other game, like, Batrider skips force, you're like, what is he doing? Straight Aghanims?
I
Or
think-
you think it's a Linken's for that Void?
I think the idea is, yeah, it could be definitely a Lincoln's, because if Void gets Necro ulted, it's all over. Like,
Jeez.
no, okay.
Okay, dodges the arrow. He's actually
still
not
so
doing enough
tanky.
damage.
Okay,
Never mind.
okay.
The crits are real. And the swap back against Jerax. Jerax needs to leap to left. Ravage is going to come out. BKB not there, but there's not enough damage. And keep in mind, he's got the Aegis for a little bit longer. Jumps forward. Matumba Man loses half his health. Has to jump. He's still coiled up. The coil breaks when he's jumping. Meanwhile, it is a Lincoln Sphere on Envy.
Yeah,
And Envy, does he still have the Aegis?
yeah, he does. Doesn't.
It looks like the lasso is going to be used on Boogie. This is just a clinic.
crap.
Yeah. Matumba Man is going to be dropping here as well.
The backtracks are so real.
He actually just backtracked like every single tower shot except for one. He's already up to 4,800 gold. This is like a total dismantling, actually.
It's a whooping.
They have.
This is actually the least close game we have ever seen
In this entire tournament.
Stage 2.
In the history of Dota. No, too soon.
Too soon.
Too soon. But it just goes back to kind of what I was talking about earlier. It's like, Ember is strong, but against heroes like Puck, Void, I would even say Venge and Bat obviously are very good too. But everything that Cloud9 normally play functions well against 4ASC's hero pool.
Do you think it got a lot down to the hero choice for Jerax as well? Like picking Morana, I don't know how comfortable he is on the hero, but I haven't really seen.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I think Boogie might be in some trouble here. Oh man, the air splitter went off as well, and Jerax gets slept after the fact. Fata going in, he wants to land the coil, or the orb and the silence, but only lands the silence.
Oh, jump in again. Valix going to get BKB right click, trying to run away. No running away from Envy. Matumba Man comes in, and Envy,
He still has Aegis.
his
I'm pretty
Aegis
sure.
is about to run out, I think. Actually, would I get him? No, the Aegis will pop. And he wants to get
He
a
wants
Reaper
the
up.
Reaper so bad.
But Envy's right there, and he'll just do the ballerina leap out.
They want out of there. They got what they came for, which is mini kills and middle racks. Oh, Trixie, eating at a silence again. Bone Step popping the
Envy just
Firefly.
full greed. What did he buy?
I'm not
to
sure.
go
We'll
here.
find out
He's
soon.
gonna get a
Valix is
lasso.
going to get jumped. Where is the Void follow-up? Chronosphere is not up just yet. He jumps in
Oh my
regardless.
God. He has
Focus on
Lincolns.
Valix. He is dead. Matumba Man gets cycled up in the air. Raining Rift has to be good, and it is good. Matumba Man gets picked off as well.
Okay.
GG.
The game was not close.
I mean, there were definitely some points in the game where I think that 4ASC could have made something happen, but it was just a matter of the more kills they gave away. It's not one of these lineups that I think has great comeback potential unless the Tidehunter gets like double Ravage going or something like that, and you just manage to take a really good fight. And even in that situation, I feel like their draft was weaker fighting. And with the Tidehunter, it's very seldom that you say that, but I do feel as though the Cloud9 overall just had the better team composition. And I think Cloud9 even went for like a greedier item of choice. Because imagine that game, instead of a BOT Batrider, if they went Blink Force F.
Well, I think with the amount of time that Bone7 has played Batrider, he can like make them decisions pretty solidly.
I'm saying it could have been even worse for
another
for
pat down.
4AC,
That's
especially when on the receiving end of the Batrider ganks. But in any case, Shiver, you're watching it on the couch. What do you think about that
Mostly.
game?
I thought that Cloud9, first of all, was a solid draft. I mean, but I didn't really think that 4ASC was outdrafted. Like when the draft was over, like I wasn't expecting the game to be this one-sided. But like thinking about it, Cloud9 was just so heavy on the control. Like every single hero that they have had some form of controlling, even like not just one person but multiple people, and that in the end was just such a deal breaker for 4ASC.
Yeah.
That just control seems to be the way to go, and not even silences, but just stuns, chronos, you name it, lassos, swaps, stuns, more stuns.
Stopping time
Stomps.
confirmed. Good ability.
Yes,
surprising.
Definitely. I was actually I was a bit confused about the item build from the Necro.
Okay.
Valix, I think he played it. Boots of Travel was mostly like he had Blink, Axe, Boots of Travel at some point, and I was curious about the Boots of Travel if he maybe shouldn't have gone for something else.
I think it was to react to the Batrider was the main reason.
But has he actually gone off a reaction with the Batrider?
No, it didn't
I
work.
think it synergizes well with the kind of play style that you want to adopt when you have Ag's Blink, is that you want to actually be at every single engagement to make sure that you can initiate on a hero and kill it straight away, and then be like at every single engagement. I think that's kind of what they wanted to do when they bought those items, but it just didn't work out that way because I think the Cloud9 were kind of a step ahead in the aggression the whole game, and they were always finding the picks prior to 4ASC actually getting anything together.
Yep.
And the more it kept happening, like the inevitability factor of Avoid is like one of the best heroes in the game for like late game and just saying, oh god, we got sphered, it's over. You know, it's just like game-ending ability. So.
And there's a certain point where people got killed before Valix could even BOT in. Like, people are just dying too fast. So
And
maybe a
was-
Shiva's Guard in hindsight would have been a bit better.
Yeah, like, is there anything like considering this draft? Because, like I said, I don't think the draft necessarily was the issue. Like, was there anything that you can put your finger on,
Well,
saying like, okay, this is the reason?
Putting the Ember Spirit 1v1 mid against Puck, like Matumba Man, like we saw how good he can be when he gets that little early lead on Ember Spirit. He can put on the pressure so heavily. But in this game, he got shut down and solo killed, like against the
Yeah, I thought the first blood in 1v1,
Yeah.
which
Like, what-
was like we didn't even see it because we were watching top.
You
And
just
they were
didn't
fighting.
expect it. You
But
know
it's
what I
not
mean?
a kill that's
you didn't think
supposed
it
to
would
happen.
happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the thing is, like, even if he didn't get first blooded, Fata was still like destroying him in lane, and that's one of those things where it's kind of like, well, if you don't really have a huge hero pool, and I think actually Slark and Ember both kind of suffer against that, then you have to think about maybe banning 1v1 matchups that are actually going to not favor Mutumba Man, because he actually seems to be a pretty integral part of the team in terms of what kind of impact he can have on those heroes.
And
so.
Jerex as well.
Yeah, I did not feel his presence. Like
No,
you were
the
asking, like, you know, if your team's losing, what does a Marana do? Well,
Yeah.
I don't even felt like there was a Marana in the game.
Nothing,
And
yeah.
that's no
I think-
disrespect to Drex, but just
The Marana is one of those heroes where you kind of want to play off map and just make like the other solo lanes pressured in a way that, okay, well, maybe if there's a normal matchup that we can't win, if we have a Marana throwing arrows, maybe the lane at least goes even, and then it's not like so bad. Whereas if you pick a normal support, you're probably never going to gank the puck, and the Marana is just one of those heroes that just gives you pressure, right? Which is really important for some matchups. But it didn't work out.
Nope.
I think the draft was okay. I think maybe pick a better, not late game composition, but something that can at least transition a little bit.
Maybe a
Because I
Legion
feel like
Commander or something.
they just totally lost their steam.
Legion Commander or something like that. Maybe it might be good. Instead of
It could have been. Valix plays LC, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
That
they
could have been
switch.
pretty
They
good.
switch it up. Like he goes mid on it.
Well, we'll see what they do in the next game. But first, we're going to have a break. Players are having a break to rethink what they did, and we'll be right back after this.